Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. When you think of the Middle Ages, what comes to mind? Knights in shining armor, towering castles, and maybe even a few plagues? It was a 1,000-year period that shaped the world in countless ways. But have you ever wondered how it all came to an end? It wasn't like someone just flipped a switch and declared, "The Middle Ages are over." Instead, a series of incredible changes swept across Europe, gradually transforming society and paving the way for the modern world. Today, we're diving into the 4 key developments that marked the twilight of the medieval era. Stick around, because this is a fascinating story of rebirth and revolution. So let's set the scene. By the 14th and 15th centuries, Europe was starting to recover from some really tough times, like the Black Death and the Hundred Years' War. As life became more stable, something crucial began to stir: trade. For centuries, the old Roman trade routes had been quiet, and most communities were isolated and self-sufficient. But now, merchants started traveling again, reconnecting cities and regions. The Crusades, despite their violent nature, had also unintentionally opened up new trade links with the East, bringing back exotic goods like spices, silk, and sugar. This revival of trade had a massive domino effect. Cities like Venice and Genoa in Italy became bustling centers of commerce, accumulating immense wealth. A new class of people emerged: merchants, bankers, and skilled artisans who weren't nobles or peasants. This rising middle class, or bourgeoisie, gained economic power and influence. They began to challenge the old feudal system, where power was based solely on land ownership. Money, not just land, was becoming the new measure of power. This economic shift fundamentally altered the social structure of the Middle Ages and laid the groundwork for everything that was to come. And what came next was truly breathtaking. This new wealth, concentrated in the vibrant city-states of Italy, funded one of the most incredible periods of creativity in human history, the Renaissance. Beginning around the 1400s, there was a massive rebirth. That's what Renaissance means of art, science, and philosophy. Scholars and artists looked back to the classical knowledge of ancient Greece and Rome for inspiration. Think of geniuses like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. They weren't just creating beautiful art. They were studying human anatomy, engineering, and the natural world with a new sense of curiosity. This intellectual explosion, known as humanism, placed a new emphasis on human potential and achievement, moving away from the purely religious focus of the medieval period. It was a complete shift in mindset. Now imagine trying to spread all these new ideas in a world without printers. Before the 1440s, every single book had to be copied by hand, usually by monks. This was incredibly slow, expensive, and prone to errors. Books were rare treasures, accessible only to the wealthy elite and the clergy. But then, a German inventor named Johannes Gutenberg changed everything. He developed the printing press with movable type. Suddenly, books and pamphlets could be produced quickly and cheaply. Knowledge, which had been locked away in monasteries, was unleashed upon the world. The printing press was the internet of its time. It allowed Renaissance ideas, scientific discoveries, and even religious critiques to spread like wildfire across Europe, empowering more people to read, learn, and form their own opinions. This wave of new ideas and new technology fueled an unstoppable desire to see what lay beyond the horizon. For centuries, Europeans' maps of the world were incomplete, filled with sea monsters and question marks. But with advances in shipbuilding, like the development of the caravel, and better navigational tools like the compass and astrolabe, long-distance sea voyages became possible. Spurred on by the desire for the spices and riches of the East, explorers set out on daring journeys. This kicked off the age of exploration. Figures like Columbus, Vasco da Gama, and Magellan sailed into uncharted waters, connecting continents and creating the first truly global network of trade and communication. This final development didn't just end the Middle Ages. It shattered the old medieval worldview and launched the world into the modern era. So there you have it. The end of the Middle Ages wasn't a single event, but a powerful convergence of reviving trade, the intellectual rebirth of the Renaissance, the revolutionary invention of the printing press, and the daring spirit of the age of exploration. Each thread wove together to create a new tapestry for European civilization. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey back in time interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more history deep dives. Let me know in the comments which of these developments you think was the most important. See you in the next video.